First off, where are you from?
I'm originally from Houston, Texas, but I moved to Mississippi for high school with my mom.
So how did you come about coming to Missouri?
I came to Missouri for the journalism school.
How did you kind of hear about that? Did you just read about it, or?
Well, I knew I wanted to study journalism, so I Googled journalism schools, and Missouri was the first one that came up, and that's how I learned about it.
Did you see a big change from where you came from, Mississippi to Missouri?
The biggest change, I guess, was the weather. I'm not really a big fan of winter, or like coldness, so we don't really have snow. So that's the biggest change, and I don't really like snow, so I wasn't happy about that.
Now what about the summers? Are they about the same?
It's a lot hotter down Mississippi. Like, people think it's humid here for some reason, but it's not. It's a lot more humid down south. So.
Now, why did you come here? Why did you want to come into the journalism program?
Well, I was in journalism in high school, and I just really loved it and wanted to continue.
What did you do in high school in the newspaper?
Well, my freshman year, we didn't have a journalism program, and myself, one other student, and my art teacher created our newspaper. We worked all year and got one issue out, but we're really proud of that one issue. And the next year, we got it was an after-school program, and then by my junior year, we had an entire journalism program. And by the time I graduated, we had a TV show, an online magazine, a newspaper. We did the yearbook, and we had a page. We designed a page for our community newspaper each week. So we kind of created the journalism program at my high school. So I kind of had my hands in a lot of different things. So.
How was that whole experience for you?
I loved it just because whenever you help create something, it means a lot more to you, I guess. So it was kind of like me. I have my best friend in high school. We all did it, and we brought it up together. So it's like our little baby from high school, I guess.
Do you still look at what they do down at your high school?
I do. I'm trying to think what they don't do anymore. They don't do the radio show anymore. I don't know if I mentioned that the first time. We only had that for like 2 years, and then it kind of died off. But everything else, they're really flourishing and doing really well. It's exciting to be home. I still have a little subscription to our high school newspaper, and they send it to me in the dork. But
how many issues do they have now?
They do one. It varies actually. They don't have a set one. One year they did one a month, and then now they're doing every other week, I think.
What did you write about in high school?
I wrote about all different kind of things because we didn't really have the structure of different beats and everything. I didn't even know what a beat was until my senior year of high school, and we were all excited. No, they call these beats. They're different things. So kind of didn't really know anything about it, but I wrote about all different things. So.
And what is your beat here at the Missourian?
Public safety.
How's that been going?
It's going good. I really enjoy it. There's a lot of different things that go into public safety that are fun to cover.
What do you think the best thing you've learned here at the Missourian?
Oh, the best thing I've learned, or the thing I've learned I would consider most valuable, I guess, would be how to relate to sources and how to get them to trust you and want you to tell you their story, instead of trying to beat a story out of somebody. So.
How do you try to get sources to trust you?
Well, on public safety, anyway, we deal with a lot of victims' family, and then we deal with lawyers and cops and other kinds of things. But just being able to, if you're interviewing a victim's family member, just being able to be passionate and actually caring about them, and not just saying, hey, give me a statement about what happened. Actually show that you care about them and about the victim, which might be crossing the line of getting too involved, but I think it really helps you get a better story.
Have you had any tough experiences dealing with the victims' families?
My hardest thing probably was last semester I was also on public safety, and there was a shooting in February. I don't know if you remember the Coy Brown shooting.
Yeah.
His mom came in and talked to me, and she was really, she didn't really want to talk at first, and then we got to know each other, and we talked, and we ended up interviewing or talking. I would say talking rather than interviewing for about 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours in Catherine's office, shut in there, and I felt like I got to know the victim, and it was like I felt sad, and then I went to the memorial service, and I actually cried at the memorial service. I had no idea who he was, but that was a hard experience just because it's just really like sometimes you get into sad situations, and then like the Horace Johnson case coming up, the little baby who was killed. That's really sad whenever you have to deal with stuff like that.
What have you done with that, with the Horace Johnson story?
Well, I followed it last semester. I wasn't here this semester whenever his mom, Kiana Lumpkins, went on trial, so I didn't do that. Someone else in the beat did, but I'm going to cover the trial of the dad this December.
Okay. When are you graduating?
I graduate in May.
Do you have any plans? Do you want any career fairs or anything like that?
Well, I'm actually in the Air Force, so I'm going active whenever I'm inactive right now, inactive reserves, so I'll activate once I graduate.
Okay, so you're in the Air Force, so what are you going to do with that? Like, what is your plans with that?
Well, right now I'm waiting to hear back from a selection board that I applied to for Office of Special Investigations, and that is kind of like the NCIS of the Air Force. Everybody always references a TV show, so but they do basically you got general crime, narcotics, and all that good stuff. So I'm trying to get into that, and hopefully I'll hear back really soon. And if I don't do that, I already secured my spot at pilot school.
So why did you choose that route?
For Air Force?
Air Force instead of just going out in the job market?
Well, it's hard to answer that question because there's so many different answers. I wanted to go into the military. I wanted to do that ever since I was in high school, so I'm the first one in my family to do it, so it's a different thing, and I like the lifestyle. So.
Have you had to do anything before you came to Mizzou to get with the Air Force? What kind of program do they have?
Okay, well, I'm actually in ROTC here, and we have our weekly things that we do every week, and after our sophomore year, we have to go to field training, which is like boot camp for the Air Force. It's called field training, and so you do that. That's a fun time. And then I actually went back this past summer as a trainer, a training assistant. So I was on the opposite end of that experience.
Now, how long will you be in the Air Force? You plan on doing that for your career, life?
Well, it depends on what job I get. If I get OSI, I'm only committed, or Office of Special Investigations, I'm only committed for 4 years plus 4 inactive. So if I do that route, I would probably stay in for at least 6 years because I want to specialize in forensics after doing general crime, and then eventually, hopefully, go to law school after that. That's one life route, and then if I don't get OSI and I go to pilot school, then you're committed for 12 years, so I'll pretty much be doing that for a career.
Now, if you go to law school, what type of law have you considered? What type of law you want to do?
Yes, definitely criminal law, not civil or anything like that. I'd eventually of course, I want to be a prosecutor. A lot of people don't really like hearing that, but I think I'd definitely want to be a prosecutor in criminal law.
Why would you rather be a prosecutor?
I would rather be a prosecutor because having to defend some people who do extremely terrible things would be really hard for me. I would have a hard time completing my job trying to defend somebody who, for instance, killed their 2-year-old son. I would have a hard time trying to find a legal defense for that, and I would rather be on the opposite end, putting them in jail.
Have you had any life experiences that make you want to go into the crime route to?
Um, Not really.
Not really. Just kind of
Just,
something you're interested in.
yeah, been addicted to Law and Order since I was like, really little, I guess.
That's all right.
That's about it.
How long are we?
You're at 11 minutes, roughly.
I think we're good. That's all I got.
Okay.